Hey guys, Wrestling Throwdown here. I'm Haley and I'm going to talk about TNA last night. TNA was just kind of, I don't know. It wasn't I don't want to be negative, but I don't want to be positive either because it wasn't a great show. I mean, there was some good moments, you could say. I mean, definitely some moments that got me interested in seeing next week, but a lot of it, I don't know. I feel like a lot of it was just a mess. The matches, I think it was more like the matches. The segments were pretty good. The matches, the first match was pretty good though. I shouldn't say Austin Aries versus Samoa Joe was bad because it wasn't bad. It was pretty good. But other than that, it was just kind of like really fast and just yuck, pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much all it was. But I'll get started. I feel like I'm always wearing blue too when I do these, like a blue shirt. It's kind of weird. I'm wearing a completely different shirt every single day, but it's just weird. I have a lot of blue shirts, so it looks weird. It looks like I don't know. It's weird. But anyways, um, Austin Aries, pretty much, he starts off the show and he says that, he, of course, because he won the, what was it called? Gold tournament thing? I think that's what it was called, the gold tournament. He pretty much says that he gets his choice of any title that he wants. And he doesn't even make his decision. And then Samoa Joe comes out and he says that he wants to fight him for the X Division. He wants to put his X Division title on the line and face him. And Austin Aries says, I didn't even call you out here, but you know what? I do want to face you. And so obviously Austin Aries picks the X Division. And they really needed to let Austin Aries win. I'm a huge fan of Austin Aries. He's very talented. He's actually probably my second favorite, maybe third favorite on the roster because I really like EC3 too. But he really needs. I feel like, he did have a good run with the TNA world title. What was it, like a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years? Was it that long? I don't know. But he was kind of like, I don't know, I feel like they changed heel way too fast when he won it because obviously the fans were behind him, and I feel like they just like kind of like, I don't know, just changed him way too fast. And that's what they do with it. They act like, oh, the fans are going to get bored of them being champion, so they either make them have a really short reign or after a few months they turn him heel. And I don't know. I feel like his first run should have been a face, and maybe near the very, very end he could have been heel, but I don't know. I didn't really like it when they turned him heel. And maybe I'm the only one, but I think they should have left Austin Aries as a face when he had the TNA title and not change him heel. But I do think it's kind of bullshit that Samoa Joe beat him through the X Division because Austin Aries, the X Division is kind of like Austin Aries' title. And obviously, Austin Aries is a main event player. He definitely can have the TNA World title. But there's there's quite a few people that are up for grabs for that. I think after, Bobby Roode gets his run, I feel like EC3 maybe is going to go for it. Or, I have a feeling MVP is going to win it too, probably, actually. So Austin Aries, I don't see him in the title picture anytime soon. So I feel like the X Division would have been a great title for him, to hold on to until that. But of course, they want Samoa Joe to hold it for that whole year, and so he can turn it in and then beat, obviously, whoever's the champion, whether it's MVP, Lashley, whatever, Bobby Roode, whoever is holding the title at that time, obviously, for Samoa Joe to be their knight in shining armor. You guys already know my thoughts about Samoa Joe. Not a fan of him. I never really was a fan of him. My brother doesn't like him either. I don't know. And especially now, he bores me to tears. Like, it's just like, go away, get off my screen. Kind of like how Joe feels about Big Show and Mark Henry. More so Mark Henry, though, I think, than Big Show. It seems like last week he kind of like touched positive with Big Show. But, about Big Show. But I don't know. Samoa Joe, he doesn't do it for me. He never did. And then now it's just like they're still trying to shove him in our faces when he's old and they need to let new talent shine. And TNA is actually usually really good with letting new talent shine. But it's just like, no, it looks like Samoa Joe. I mean, they could have anybody as the X Division right now. They could have Bram actually would be a really great choice. Bram was on an undefeated streak. What the hell happened to Bram? Bram wasn't even in the Gold Rush tournament, and I'm not sure why. I mean, they chose Magnus instead. And don't get me wrong, I love Magnus. He's one of my favorites, and I feel like that was bullshit when they made him a paper champion. But it's just like, why the hell is Bram not in this tournament? Did anybody else kind of get that weird vibe? Like, I don't know, like, did anyone else think that was weird? Or was it just me? I don't know. I thought that was bizarre, especially because he's undefeated streak. And it's just like, why the hell would you give this guy so much credit and praise and then just not see him? Because we haven't seen him in like a few weeks, and he's just walked off the face of the earth. I just think it's crazy. But anyway, Samoa Joe wins, yada yada, whatever. He's still the X Division champion, whatever. I don't care. I mean, it's just, it's really upsetting for Austin Aries, and it's upsetting for this younger talent. It really is. Okay, EC3 with Spud. Obviously, I told you guys I've seen this coming for a while. They're building up for this. EC3 pretty much asks if Spud is his best friend. And Spud says, yes, yeah, you're my best friend. We haven't hung out in a few weeks. You haven't returned my calls, blah, blah, blah. EC3 pretty much just laughs and says that he's not his friend. He's his employee. And Spud gets very upset. And he says that EC3 says he makes him sick. And then he rips up his suit. And Spud's suits are so cool. I love Spud's suits. Does anybody else like them? I love them. I think they're just so awesome and everything. And he pretty much says that he's failed him. And Spud obviously starts to get upset, and he starts crying. And then EC3 laughs again and says, oh, cry for me, cry for me. Do I make you cry? And then he slaps him. And Spud looks extremely upset and looks like he's going to hit him back. Almost, maybe. I don't know. He's kind of getting in his face. And EC3 goes, you're not going to do anything. And Eric Young comes out. I don't know what Eric Young has to do with this. I'm not really sure. No offense to him or anything. I just think it's kind of bizarre that they're putting him into this whole angle. Maybe, I guess, because they don't have anything else for him. But he comes out and he says, if anyone wants to, take blame for this, I'll take blame for it. He's just like, I would love to have the responsibility to take blame for, put your wife, or not your wife, then I should say wife, your aunt being put through a table. And he tells Spud to stick up for himself, and he says, you got to stick up for yourself, you got to defend yourself and everything like that, slap him, hit him back, blah, blah, blah. And EC3, that's all he can take from him, and he just starts attacking Eric Young, and obviously EC3 versus Eric Young. This is obviously a match before. I guess they rolled into this match. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I thought they were just attacking each other for a while, and then I see a referee, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess this is a match. And EC3 wins. He gives him a low blow, and then I think Spud helps him, actually. I thought Spud helped him. I don't know. EC3 obviously ran into Spud, though, at the same time, too. But EC3 obviously won, and Spud leaves with him. So for right now, Spud and EC3, they seem like they're still best friends, I guess. But obviously that's not going to last long. I definitely can see it coming that it's not going to last long with Spud and EC3. It's not. You can definitely see Spud's obviously going to lose temper one day, and he's just going to snap, and that's going to be all he can take, obviously. Which really upsets me, because I really think they needed to, I feel like they needed to turn EC3 face. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, he's the Randy Orton. And obviously, I don't know how well he would do as a face, I guess. I mean, he did okay in WWE because he was a comedy gimmick. Oh, they used him so wrong in WWE. And TNA's using him so much better. You know, he's actually showing that he has great talent. But I don't know. I feel like I really liked him and Spud together. I feel like they should have just almost turned on Dixie and they should turn face together. But I feel like as long as Dixie is going to be a heel, he's going to be a heel. And then maybe when she turns face, he'll turn face. Because obviously his whole character is being Dixie Carter's nephew. So they obviously have to go hand in hand. I mean, I don't know though, because families have always, you know, kind of separated each other. I mean, obviously the Hardys, they had a feud and everything. And, you know, the Bella twins are having a feud. And just like a whole bunch of, you know, and obviously Goldust and Cody, brothers in real life, they're having a feud. So, and obviously Undertaker and Kane, they're not brothers in real life, but obviously their characters are obviously portrayed as brothers. So, and they obviously feud. So I feel like they can feud EC3 and Dixie, like, well, not like feud because obviously it's a girl and a guy, but like they don't have to be like best of friends. But I don't know if it's going to happen anytime soon. I feel like if she's face, he's going to be face, and if he's heel, she's going to be heel. That's just my opinion. And we'll see where Spud goes with this. I don't know. Maybe they'll turn him into a wrestler finally, or he'll be a manager, maybe for Eric Young. And maybe that's why they're putting Eric Young into this whole angle. I still don't think this makes sense. I still don't know why he's in this whole angle, but that's just my opinion. Okay, Havoc versus Gail Kim for the Knockouts title. And it ends in a no contest. And Gail Kim obviously hurts his shoulder and gets helped to the back. And that's pretty much that. They do obviously have a match later on for the title, but I'll get into that later on because that's the main event. Sorry if that's really loud, guys. It's raining at my house right now, and I have the windows open. I probably should close them. It's really loud. Oh. Sorry about that. Hopefully it doesn't show up in the video. But anyways, that's pretty much that. I'll get more into detail with them, obviously, for their main event match, because I feel like there's no reason to talk about it now because they obviously have technically a rematch at the end of the show, so I feel like it's kind of pointless to talk about it now. Okay, the Wolves. You guys know how much I like the Wolves. They're pretty much talking about the match stipulation and what's it going to be for next week, because Bound for Glory, they're Bound for Glory, I think, is it next week or the week after? I don't know, but they taped it in Japan. And they did all their tapings. They already did all their tapings after. I don't even know if they have taped it yet, because I know they did all their tapings already after Bound for Glory. Now, like, they already have them up from like, I think they have all the way up till mid-November, something like that. I don't know, but I'm not gonna spoil you guys or anything. I've read them, but I'm not gonna obviously spoil it for the rest of you. But yeah, they TNA like taped just like 2 months ahead. Oh, and that's what hurts them too. But it obviously, I get it that it's a better schedule for the wrestlers, because then after they get done with these tapings, then they can, relax for like, I think they can probably get like 2 or 3 weeks off. But I mean, obviously they still probably have a few house shows and stuff, but it's definitely not as crazy as the WWE schedule, and that's probably why, Anderson went to WWE. I don't know, though. He actually got kicked out. Well, I don't know. Actually, I'll tell you something about Anderson when we get to his match. I want to give you guys a little fact about Anderson. But anyways, they're talking about their match stipulation, and they said they're going to pick it for next week. And Team 3D comes out, and they interrupt Davey Richards, and it made me happy. And they pretty much start talking about how the Wolves are a good tag team, but Team 3D is great, and they're way better than the Wolves. And the Wolves have no idea what they're talking about, no idea what they're doing, because they're going to get hurt, blah, blah, blah. And they say that Team 3D says that they're going to pick their match. And the Wolves obviously get upset and they go, no, we're picking the match. And Bully Ray kind of gets a little cocky and he tells them both to leave and be, obviously smart and leave the ring. And then the Hardys come out. And the Hardys agree with Team 3D. They say that they're both better. Team 3D and the Hardys are both better than the Wolves. And that the Wolves, don't know what they're getting themselves into. And Davey tells them to shut up. Oh, Davey Richards. And Bully Ray slaps Davey Richards. And it kind of turns into chaos, Bully accidentally hits Matt Hardy. And then it just goes chaos from there. And Davey Richards makes the match, and he says, Full Metal Mayhem match. And that's pretty much, it's like a TLC match. It's like ladders, tables, chairs, It's pretty much anything goes. And that's going to be for next week. I think it's Bound for Glory. I'm pretty sure it's Bound for Glory, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I know it's next week that he said the match is going to take place, but I think it is Bound for Glory. I'm not sure. I don't even know what to say about that. So, I mean, I'm not going to spoil you guys, obviously. I already know who wins, but I'm not going to spoil you guys. But, Davey Richards, does he got a mouth on him? I can't stand him. And me and Joe talked about this, I think it was like a month and a half ago, maybe, when he did a TNA with me. Obviously, he can't do TNA with me anymore because it's on Wednesdays. It's on a Wednesdays now, but I do the reviews on a Thursday. And obviously, he has Strike Zone on Thursdays, so I'm kind of left alone on TNAs now. So, I mean, unless I do it in the daytime, but I have school too on Thursday, so it's kind of hard for me to not obviously do this not till late at night. But anyways, me and Joe talked about this like a month and a half ago on Davey Richards about how he's got an attitude problem. And I know people, don't like to hear the truth because my guy, obviously Seth Rollins, has had an attitude problem in the back too. But Davey Richards, there's actually stuff going around that's why ROH, Ring of Honor, got rid of him, was because of his attitude. And, well, no, not Ring of Honor. I don't think Ring of Honor. Actually, it was WWE. I'm sorry. WWE was in the I don't know how you would say this, but they were about ready to sign him. I don't know if they did just sign him or they were about ready to sign him, like he was about ready to move to NXT or what. But they were going to sign him, and something happened. They seen obviously his attitude. It might have been like Seth, and he didn't want to change. Seth did, but he didn't want to change, so maybe they just let him go. But and then obviously that hurt Eddie Edwards too. And that's the thing too. I like Eddie Edwards. Eddie Edwards does not bother me. It's Davey Richards that bothers me. Eddie Edwards, I really do hope that they break them up soon. I know that they probably, I don't know. I know a lot of people like the Wolves, but both of them can do singles. Both of them are talented. Yes, I'm saying that Davey Richards is talented. I'm not going to be biased here. But both of them are talented, and both of them can be single competitors, so why not, I feel like Davey Richards, his attitude is going to hurt Eddie Edwards' career if they're together. And I don't think Eddie Edwards should take it. I really don't. Because Eddie Edwards seems like, a nice guy and hard worker and everything like that. And Davey Richards, and I know there's a lot of people, that like Davey Richards. I know Paul likes him, and I know Michael Miner, my friend Michael Miner, likes him a lot too. And I know they don't like it when I talk bad about him, but it's the truth. You can look it up. You can just, these are articles that that you can just find all over online that Davey Richards is an asshole in real life. Backstage, everything, you can find articles. And it's actually funny. Was it John Parrish or was it was it Ben? I'm not sure. One of them, though, sent me a link one day, and they said top 5 biggest asshole wrestlers, and Davey Richards was in the top 5. And there's also your proof too. If you don't, and I'm not saying he's not talented. I'm just saying he's an asshole. And the same goes for CM Punk. CM Punk's an asshole. Hell of a talent. He's amazing on the mic. I love CM Punk. I will always be a huge fan of CM Punk, but he's an asshole. What are you gonna do? The truth hurts sometimes, guys. And you can't just not say it. When I said that about Seth too, I was obviously critical on that one video that I did on Seth. And I said that, he had a huge attitude problem, and I'm glad he fixed it because, he can't be acting like that. Doesn't matter how good you are or how good you think you are. You can't have an attitude problem backstage, because if it comes across that you think you're better than everybody else, obviously they're not going to like that, and they're going to say, you know what, you either need to change your attitude or you can leave. And if you don't fix it, well. And CM Punk, he's kind of lucky because he didn't fix it. I don't know though. CM Punk, he's different though. I feel like he put up with a lot of crap. A lot of crap. I feel like CM Punk was nice, obviously, in the beginning, and then he just kind of got worse in his later career. Obviously, the last few years before he retired, I feel like, obviously that's the whole pipe bomb thing. That's when he kind of like his whole true self kind of came out. So I kind of don't blame CM Punk. At least he was kind of holding it in. I don't know though. I don't know the whole story if he was really an asshole back in real life, like backstage in the before. But I know Davey Richards has always been an asshole. And Seth was an asshole when he got to NXT. So, all 3 of these guys, they need a, obviously Seth has learned. CM Punk, well, he just left, so I guess there's that. And Davey Richards, well, he lost his chance to be in WWE. So, maybe if he changes his attitude, maybe they'll change their mind in the next few years, and maybe he'll be able to go to WWE. But, I feel like it's almost out of the question now. I feel like he really messed that up for himself. But that's all I got to say about that. Manic versus Shark Boy. It was funny. My brother, he mentioned Shark Boy, and he pretty much said that this is the guy that thinks he's Stone Cold Steve Austin because he's always shaking his head and everything. I thought it was funny. And I love Stone Cold Steve Austin too, so don't think that I don't. Don't think that I'm making fun of him. I'm not. Manic wins, obviously, because if he didn't, James Storms would have beat the shit out of him. I wonder what they're going to do with this whole group, with Manic, the Great Sonata, and James Storms, obviously. But I wonder what they're going to do, if they're going to add another person, or if they're just going to stay the same, if they're going to add maybe a girl, or if they're just going to stay in the X Division. It seems like they're just kind of staying in the X Division, but it seems like they're going more for like the title picture. I'm actually kind of surprised that they didn't go for Austin Aries this week. But I guess because they already had a problem with Austin Aries, so maybe that's why. But it seems like, obviously, whenever you have a title match for the X Division, the loser, obviously James Storms is having his eye on, and so that's why I thought it was kind of weird that they didn't go for Austin Aries, but probably because obviously they already had problems, so Austin Aries isn't going to join them anyways. But we'll see. I don't know. I don't know if they're just going to focus on the X Division, remaking it, which is good. I think they do need to remake the X Division. Too many great guys, and I've said this before too, too many great guys have just left, and it's crazy. Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, all my favorites. MVP versus Anderson. Oh, both of them just, oh. MVP won. Now they're putting Anderson with, what's his name? Chris Melendez, I think that's what his name is. That one guy, obviously with the prosthetic leg. Well, Anderson, okay, this is what I was going to say about Anderson earlier. What was I going to say? I completely forgot my train of thought, what I was going to say about him. WWE, pretty much, this is the rumor going around. I don't know if this is absolutely true, but I have read stuff on it and I have heard it from other people. So don't quote me on this. This is just a rumor. I don't know if it's true or not, and maybe you guys can tell me if you've heard it too. Anderson, why he left WWE was because he couldn't take the schedule. And like how I said about TNA, how they tape so many shows at a time. Well, obviously this is better for Anderson since he thinks this whole thing is overdoing it, obviously overdoing his body with the whole WWE because they work like 365 days a year, obviously. But yeah, Anderson, obviously that is the rumor why he left. He said that he wanted more days off or something like that, or he said something like, "Oh, I need the schedule down," and they pretty much released him because they said, "Well, you know what, you're not gonna get that, so goodbye." That's pretty much what they said. And I mean, Anderson wasn't anything special. Not trying to be mean. He was obviously Mr. Kennedy in WWE. But he was nothing special. I'm sorry if you guys like him. I do feel a little tiny bit bad that they made him be the only one that lost the briefcase to. I mean, other people have, failed at cashing in, like Damian Sandow and John Cena, but he actually lost his briefcase. He didn't even have a chance to cash it in. He lost it to Edge. And I love Edge. Edge is my second favorite wrestler of all time, but I still felt bad for him. I still thought that wasn't very fair. Because that's obviously your guaranteed, it's supposed to be a guaranteed contract for the WWE title. But yeah, it's obviously that was what the whole thing was about him getting released, that he couldn't take the schedule and everything like that. And that's what's so funny too. Anderson was supposed to leave TNA. His contract was supposed to be up. But I also heard on my website that they're waiting until the end of the year for some of these people. So maybe he's just going to finish it up after December. Maybe him, Velvet Sky, and them are supposed to leave because Velvet Sky is supposed to not be here. Bully Ray's supposed to leave. Anderson, who else was on there? I did hear rumors about Austin Aries too, which I hope are not true. I really don't. He's one of their better ones that they really need to keep. But yeah, I have heard those few people that were supposed to, their contracts, they were not re-signing. So I don't know if they're just going to lay it off until December because Bully Ray, as you guys know, he was supposed to leave. He left and he was gone, and then he came back to finish up this whole tag team thing. So maybe he's finishing off this year and then he's going to be done. And then obviously Anderson, maybe that's the whole thing too. I don't know. They're kind of putting him with Chris Melendez now. I don't know if they're going to do a whole storyline with that, but who knows? That's pretty much what MVP and Kenny King are busy doing now. Obviously, those four together, they're just kind of just doing random things. Oh, but that's pretty much that. I just am not a fan of Anderson. I don't know. I feel bad for him, but he's kind of one of those guys that I feel like there's nothing really special about him. He's funny sometimes, and he's pretty good on the mic, but it's almost like he's just getting boring and tiring, and it's just, I don't know. He's not that great in the ring. And, if maybe some people, want to disagree with me, and that's fine. You're free to have your opinion. But in my opinion, I've watched quite a few of his matches, obviously, and I've seen, and I'm just like, he's not, I mean, he's not horrible, but he's not great either. He's just kind of, he definitely needs work on his in-ring ability. But, I don't know, maybe he'll be the question of the day after I post this. Maybe I'll ask people what they think about him, about his in-ring ability. We'll get a debate going. Alrighty. Bobby Roode, he pretty much talks about how he lost his title match and everything like that, and he calls Bobby Lashley out. And of course, the whole gang comes out. MVP, Kenny King and Bobby Lashley. And he pretty much calls him a dominant champion that they've ever had, TNA's ever had. And that he knew that he had Lashley. He pretty much says if his knee didn't go out, that he would have won. And Lashley knows that. That's why Lashley was stunned and that he was almost kind of like shocked when he beat him. And so he says that he wants one more chance. And Bobby Lashley, he's ready to, say, okay, I'll give you one more chance. And he's about ready to shake his hand. I actually think Bobby Lashley's going to turn face pretty soon. I don't know, though, because he's in MMA, too. So I don't know if he's just going to leave after this or what. I don't know. Once he eventually loses his title to whoever. But, and I mean, I know who he loses it to. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to spoil you guys. But, yeah, he goes to shake his hand, and MVP obviously shoves him away and says, oh, your answer is no. Bobby Lashley's answer is no, and he pretty much talks for him. And I don't think Bobby Lashley liked that very much. And I think that Bobby Lashley's obviously, this is another kind of Spud and EC3 thing. I think he's eventually going to get fed up with MVP, and he might eventually attack him and turn face. But that's pretty much that. He answers no for him, and then they leave. I mean, it was that simple. So right now they don't have a match, and I feel like Bobby Roode deserves a rematch. Bobby Roode is a great. I feel like he's the best wrestler on their roster right now. That's just my opinion. I've always really liked Bobby Roode. When I was watching Beer Money, he was always my favorite. I wasn't crazy about James Storm, and I always preferred Bobby Roode. And then when I seen him, I took a break with TNA. I think it was like 6-month break or something like that. It was like a year or two ago, something like that. And then I come back and I see that he's champion. And I'm like, oh my God, like I wouldn't have imagined that, because I really didn't see any of his single match stuff, so I couldn't really see how great he was alone. So I was just like, wow, they actually gave him the title. I'm just like, I'm gonna actually have to see how great this guy is. And I was talking to my brother about it, and he goes, they made a horrible mistake. James Storms is better. It's funny now because he says, wow, you were right. Bobby Roode is so much better than James Storms. I can tell people, I can tell who's going to obviously be. I'm kind of almost like I joke and say I'm psychic. Sometimes it's kind of the same thing with driving too. I always say I can tell what people are going to do from a mile away, and that's what makes me a good driver, because people pull out in front of me all the time, and I already can see it happening. And my dad, someone will be like swerving. I'll be like, they're going to do a lane change, and he'll go like, no, they're not, and they'll do a lane change. And like everyone in the car will say, no, they're not. And I'll say, yes, they are. And they do a lane change. It's just funny. But it's kind of like that with Bobby Roode. I definitely seen him better than James Storms in the group. I didn't really see, like I said, his single stuff, but I seen that he was better. I felt like he carried himself better when they were in Beer Money together. There was something about Bobby Roode that I liked better. And I was never really a fan of James Storm. And I guess obviously, people were upset about, how short James Storm's run was. And then obviously Bobby Roode being the longest reigning TNA champion in history. And now people see why. People were like, wow, he actually was better. They actually see his single work and they compare it now to James Storm, and they were like, well, I guess TNA did push the right person. And I knew they did. I was happy that they pushed Bobby Roode. They knew what they were doing at that time. They wanted to obviously turn Bobby Roode heel, obviously, and to do that they had to obviously probably do the whole James Storm thing first, his short run, and then obviously make Bobby Roode dominant champion, and then obviously have it lose it to Austin Aries. But like I said, Bobby Roode, incredible talent. I've always seen talent in him. He reminds me a lot of Triple H. And Joe agrees with me. Like, we agree like on the whole facial expressions, just like the whole overall talking, just how he carries himself. He reminds me a lot of Triple H, especially when he's a heel. a lot like Triple H. I mean, I wonder. I mean, that should also be another feud in my group. You know, what if you guys, you know, see a lot of Triple H and Bobby Roode? Because me and Joe both do. But yeah, I definitely see him. And you know, like I said, EC3, I see Randy Orton in EC3. But yeah, that's pretty much that. But I do think that Bobby Roode needs another chance. I feel like he's really the only one that can beat Bobby Lashley right now. I mean, what are they gonna do? I mean, they can have. I guess they can do this. Have Bobby Lashley turn face and then have MVP beat him. Oh, I'm sure people would not like that. I know I don't want to see that. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people will want Bobby Roode to be champion. And he hasn't been obviously champion since he's been face. You know, he was obviously heel the whole time when he was champion. So I kind of would like to see what he does with a face run. But we will see hopefully within the next week or two, or see if maybe he obviously gets that rematch, or if someone else does, or what happens. Lastly, this was the main event, Gail Kim versus Havoc, and this was their second match of the evening. Gail Kim pretty much said that she was facing Havoc no matter what, and that to fix her shoulder or tape it up so she could face her. And obviously, Gail Kim lost. Havoc won, which was the right decision. I really like Gail Kim, and she's extremely talented. I think WWE messed her up too. Gail Kim, oh, she seriously, makes Taryn Terrell's matches have such great matches. Like she carries Taryn Terrell so good. Sorry about that. My computer's dying, so I had to plug it in. But yeah, she carries Taryn Terrell very, very well. And Taryn Terrell, I feel like she can't wrestle either. I feel like the only good matches she really actually has is with Gail Kim, because Gail Kim knows how to carry her. And I don't know. I've just never been a fan of Taryn Terrell. Even when she was in WWE, they didn't use her really because I feel like there was really nothing to be used. She didn't really have talent. And there's actually quite a few people that I've talked to that agree with me that they don't think Taryn Terrell is good. So, you know, I know I'm not talking crazy here. Maybe to some of you, I might be talking crazy that she doesn't have talent. But a lot of people agree that Taryn Terrell is not good. So, you know, I guess, I don't know. I guess it's just our opinion, or who knows. I mean, everybody's going to have different opinions, you know. Maybe some people think Hornswoggle is very talented. And I mean, you know, that's just their opinion, you know. Or Great Khali, maybe people think he's very talented too, and that's just their opinion, you know. I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, you're so stupid and everything for thinking that, because it's your opinion. Because I know there's crazy ass people out there who think Seth Rollins isn't talented. Yes, you're crazy. I think that you're crazy for thinking that, but it is your opinion, and you know, you're free to have your opinion. But yeah, Gail Kim lost, so Havoc has it now. I really like Havoc. I really like the look to her and everything, the half-shaved head. I think she's going to be a great champion. I actually kind of hope if they're thinking of anybody, and I know obviously what happens in the next few weeks, like I said, but I think if they're thinking of anybody obviously defeating her down the road, whenever, I don't know when, but I really hope ODB is their person, because I feel like that's going to be their only person that's really, I don't know, like appropriate to beat her. Because if she beat Gail Kim's like their number one. I mean, yeah, Madison Rain's great too. I actually am a huge fan of Madison Rain. I think she's great too. But she's I don't know. I feel like she might not be in the title picture, and I've obviously, like I said, read down the lines. I'm not going to tell you anything what happens, but yeah, I really think ODB I think she should be the person to beat Havoc if they do obviously eventually have Havoc lose the Knockouts title. I think ODB definitely can be the person for that, because they kind of match in physicality and everything like that. And I don't know. I think they can have a really great match too. I was kind of hoping for Gail Kim and Havoc to have a better match. Obviously, it made Havoc look like she was, and I get that too. Havoc's brand new, So she's obviously supposed to look really dominant and no one's supposed to even be able to touch her. So I can get that. But hopefully down the road, Gail Kim will have a rematch. And I hope they make this match better, because Gail Kim just got destroyed. And it makes Gail Kim look so weak. And I hate when they do that to people, you know. And like they did with the Brock Lesnar and John Cena match. I know a lot of people really liked it. But John Cena, I mean, it made John Cena look like horrible, and the match was just bad because it was just Brock Lesnar throwing John Cena around like a rag doll, and it was just pointless. And I know a lot of people liked it, but it just wasn't for me. But yep, that's pretty much that for TNA. Havoc won, and the matches were just not good. The only match that I think was good was the Austin Aries versus Samoa Joe. That's it. Everything else, the segments were good though. I'm not gonna lie, the segments were pretty good. But other than that, it was just nothing special. I guess just to get ready for Bound for Glory. But that's pretty much that, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, and don't forget to join our Facebook group. If this is the first time you are watching this and you like what you see, please join that. We have great debates. We have free all opinion, and you can state your opinion, whatever. So I hope you all have a great night, and I will see you in the next one. And I will be doing the next one I do, it's going to be Saturday. Yeah, Saturday after work. I actually get out of work early, so it's probably going to be like early night probably when I do this. I'm going to combine obviously SmackDown and NXT like I did last week. A lot of people told me that they really liked that because I didn't focus on everything and I just focused on a few key points. They really liked that. So I will be doing that again, combining NXT and SmackDown, not talking about everything, just key points that I think are important. And that will be on Saturday, probably in the early nighttime-ish. So please look for that, guys. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.